The ongoing and severe conflict between Russia and Ukraine, which began a year ago, is considered to be one of the most critical wars of this century. Turkey, as a member of NATO and Russia's only remaining link to the West, has utilized its unique strength to arm Ukraine and host peacekeepers, taking advantage of its geostrategic position. President Rajab Tayyip Erdogan has acted as a mediator in Russia's invasion of Ukraine, making critical moves to pacify Russia's aggressive policies and reconcile both sides of the war. The peace talks that Erdogan mediated, as well as the negotiation of the Black Sea Green Deal, were some of Turkey's moves to defuse the war. Although Turkey remains the friendliest country to Moscow of all NATO countries, it is the only NATO country that supplies weapons to Ukraine without any conditions on their use against targets inside Russia. Ukraine has utilized this operational flexibility by using Turkish-made Bayraktar 2 TB armed drones to hit targets in Russia's Kursk and Belgorod oblasts multiple times. Turkey's support for Ukraine should not come as a surprise to those who have followed the country's foreign policy decisions in recent years. In 2019, Turkey was the only NATO member to intervene alongside the internationally recognized Libyan government against the Russia-backed Libyan National Army led by Khalifa Haftar. Although Turkey's intervention was not respected, it prevented Russia from gaining a firm military foothold on NATO's southern border. However, Turkish foreign policy decisions that directly contradict Russia's interests carry great risks, given that Turkey currently faces both internal and external threats from actors that receive support from Russia or that may escalate Russia's support. Despite this, Turkey has shown little hesitation in bombing the positions and soldiers of the Wagner PMC, which acted as the unofficial arm of the Russian army in Libya. Turkey appeared determined to maintain good foreign relations while also being one of the first to act when it felt that its interests or those of its strategic partners were threatened. Turkey has provided substantial support to the Ukrainian army in the form of weapons and war equipment, including 35 Bayraktar 2 Bayraktar Dinars armed unmanned aerial vehicles, 24 mini Bayraktar reconnaissance UAVs, TRLG-230 guided multiple rocket launchers, electronic warfare equipment, 200 BMC-KRP armored vehicles, mortars and ammunition, and various other aid packages. Turkish-made military equipment has played a heroic role on the Ukrainian front, changing the course of the war. Today, these machines, as well as 2 TB drones and ammunition, are crushing Russian troops on the eastern fronts and in the Black Sea skies. Ukrainian troops in Bakhmut are making active use of Turkish KRP armored vehicles, 2 TB drones, and artillery munitions. Despite this, Ukraine has chosen to keep news of this military support from Turkey to a minimum, with most deliveries only being revealed after being detected in Ukraine or reported by Ukrainian sources. While most of the weapons sent from Turkey were donated, some were sold at large discounts. However, Turkey's assistance to Ukraine has not been solely a government matter. Bayraktar gained international recognition by donating 5 Bayraktar 2 TB drones to Ukraine, after crowdfunding organizations from Lithuania, Ukraine, and Poland met their funding goals. Furthermore, Bayraktar utilized the $32 million collected for humanitarian, defense, and reconstruction efforts in Ukraine. These drones, however, only tell half the story. According to Ukrainian government sources, Ukraine received an additional 15 free Bayraktar 2 TB drones from Bayraktar, and 15 more were sold at a lower price, covering only production costs. Bayraktar also donated 24 mini Bayraktar reconnaissance drones to the Ukrainian armed forces, which were particularly well received due to their scramble-resistant feature in Ukraine's UAV-rich battlefield environment. Additionally, a previously unreported delivery of Turkish arms to Ukraine includes an unspecified number of 230mm TRLG-230 guided MIRLs, which are particularly lethal due to their precision-guided munitions. These MIRLs are believed to have a range of over 75 kilometers and are capable of hitting up to 4 targets, with a durability of more than 24 hours. The EO and IR sensor's long range allows for more extensive detection capabilities when combined with the 2 TB. The 230mm TRLG-230 can accurately destroy targets identified by the 2 TB in rapid succession, up to a range of 70 kilometers. There have been claims that the lack of footage showing the Bayraktar 2 terabytes hitting Russian targets is due to the drones being dropped, but it was later revealed that the footage was recorded in the early days of the conflict and gradually leaked. Furthermore, the threats faced on the battlefield have evolved, prompting Ukrainian 2 terabytes to take on new roles such as long-range reconnaissance, electronic warfare, and defense. Turkey has an extensive array of weapon systems that will be well-suited to the Ukrainian armed forces. Turkey exports almost every conceivable weapon system, including UCAVs, guided MIRLs, 122mm T, 122 and 300mm D RLG 300 MRLS, as well as air defense systems such as the Hisar Plus with a range of 15 kilometers, Hisaro with a range of 25 kilometers, and 35mm Korkut. Additionally, a self-propelled anti-aircraft gun SPOG would be ideal for countering the threat posed by independently circulating munitions. Consequently, Turkey is seen as a significant source of support, while NATO continues to search member states for supplies of Soviet-era weapons. The gradual depletion of Ukraine's resources may eventually lead to the purchase of advanced weaponry from Turkey, which has shown little hesitation in providing such support. It is believed that Turkey's future plans include supplying Ukraine with advanced armaments, even if they could potentially be used against Russia. Although the presence of the Russian Navy in the Black Sea may limit the use of the 2 corvettes recently ordered by Ukraine from Turkey, their delivery was still considered a significant blow to the Russian Navy. Turkey's efforts to address Ukraine's more pressing concerns continue through the integration of Baykartek Sugar II or guided MANPADS into the Bayraktar 2 terabytes, a crucial development in countering the threat of Iranian-made munitions. Turkey's recent attempts to support Ukraine underscore its position as a staunch ally in defense of Ukraine. During a visit to Turkey, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg urged President Erdogan to approve the membership of Sweden and Finland into the alliance. Some have criticized Turkey's opposition to the accession protocols of these 2 Scandinavian countries, accusing it of supporting Russia. However, Turkey's position is based on legitimate security concerns. In the tripartite memorandum signed by Finland, Sweden, and Turkey in June identifies terrorism as a major threat in NATO's new strategic concept. Turkey expects concrete steps from these 2 countries in its fight against terrorism, which it considers to be an existential threat. These are some notable aspects of Turkish policy since 2014. This is all for today. You can support our Ukrainian team by subscribing, and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. We'll be back with more updates and information. Thanks for watching.